You let me desecrate you. You let me penetrate you. All right, all right. Mark on my insides. Help me, I got some more to tell. Help me. Works for me. Get away from myself. I wanna fuck you like an animal. I feel you from the inside. No. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the trucking journey. I'm Trucker Jim, and I have shut down pretty early, but it ain't for a lack of hustling. I'll show you my day. You can have my isolation. Bass, you can have the hate that it brings. Hi-hat, you can have my absence of Can't get much more than that. You can have my everything. But it's a new week. Like an animal. All right, we got Creature 937 is first. What's up, man? And John Crawford. How are you, buddy? How's the family? I don't know if I'm going to be able to grant that request of no singing. Did you guys, I don't know if you guys could hear what this is, but it's more of like rock songs and rap songs that's done lounge style by Richard Cheese. This guy sounds like he's in Vegas. That's the album cover. The Sunny Side of the Moon.
You gotta keep them separated. Like the latest fashion.
Like a sore disease.
The kids are strapping on the
But the reason I'm shut down at daggum noon Central Time is I started at midnight. And the reason I started at midnight, that's when my 34-hour reset was up. We got the man beside me eating spaghetti.
Are you talking back to me?
Take them off, you gotta keep them separated. All right. So you guys aren't talking much. I just ended a shift, and I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna cook. But I know there's a couple of smart truckers, maybe with a little experiences I have yet to have, that may be on this. My refrigerator. Let's see. Let's adjust this a little bit. There we go. My refrigerator, right? It had stopped working for a while last week, and then it started back. So I got the shop to look at it, and when I started, it was working. And then when I did my break earlier today, it wasn't. It didn't have any power. But now it's working again. Why would that be? I'm thinking it's a power issue. This is what controls my inverter right here. Like 14.1, that is strong. I'm not really running anything. But when it's time to make coffee, I use some power. The first thing is this electric kettle. Like I flip that switch. I'm not going to do it because there's nothing in there. But it uses a good bit of power to heat that up. And generally, I wait till the water is hot and done before I grind the beans. Because it's a grinder and it uses a good bit of power. But today, I ground while it was heating, and it used to would trip this in previous trucks when I would try some stuff like that, just running too much at one time, and it would trip and I would have to reset it. But that don't happen. But I wonder, is that's what's going on with the refrigerator? And I tried cutting it off right away to see if it would reset, and it didn't. But I don't know, at some point after that, It did, and the refrigerator is currently working. And I don't want to lose food, guys. That really sucks when that happens, especially when you eat like I do. Look at this. We got some gourmet olives, antipasta. There's mushrooms and oil and olives and cheese in there. And we got these guacamole cups. And yes, that's a calzone back there, dadgummit. But under the cheese is some meat. We got a ribeye, and then there's a filet back there wrapped in bacon. I had one of those last night. They came from Aldi. They were all right. And then up in the freezer, meatballs. I've been on a meatball kick lately. And then there's some tuna steaks back there. I did not buy chicken again because Aldi's just has, the bag, big ass bag of like chicken breasts and everything, just a big bag of them. And I don't like those, especially when my refrigerator stops working for a little while and it'll thaw out a little bit because they get all stuck together and everything. I usually get, the individually vacuum sealed chicken breasts that are all, have the nice happy words to them. Cage free, and grass fed and hormone free and all that stuff. But Aldi's doesn't carry that, so and that's the only place I stopped this time. We got a couple comments. John Crawford says he was in Tennessee yesterday and saw a GP truck on 75 north out of Atlanta. Yeah, they got some that come out of there. That wasn't me. I was off yesterday. And let's see. The day before yesterday when I got back, I picked up my friend Mel and I don't know, we ran around and did a couple of things. I took her by a friend of mine's house to let her meet. But on our way to the bookstore, my tire alert in the Chevy popped up and said my tire pressure was 19 pounds on my right side rear. And then I got parked and I meant to check it, but I forgot. And I walked into the bookstore. We was in there and came out and my tire was totally flat. It did. And I tell you what I did instead of digging through and my tire changing kit, I pulled out an app for Progressive. Boop boop boop. I don't know. 15 minutes later, there was a guy that changed it for me. I know somebody will give me a hard time about that, but I mean, I could have did that in front of my friend and all that, and got all sweaty because it was like 95 degrees. I was like, nah, I'll let somebody else make a few bucks, and I'll use an app. And well, yesterday I scheduled me a doctor's appointment and go ahead and get my annual physical out of the way. And I was going to go get my tire plugged, I thought, but it was too big of a gash. They tried, it wouldn't. So I had to spend $145 on a new right tire. Those Michelin, what are they? Michelin, no, Goodyear Eagles or something like that. So I wasn't planning on doing that yesterday, but I did. But, I remember in years past when things like that would happen and I would not be financially prepared. I'm like, oh, I ain't got the money for a tire. You got a used one and all that. And man, how stupid would my truck look with some mixed old match used tire over on the side? You know what I mean? I was like, all right, do it. So that's a good thing. And I can say thank you to trucking for that happening. Because it hadn't always been that way every day of my life. And I'm working on a video series, planning it now, that's going to be talking about some of those days of my life as far as, I guess, what we'd call work history. But I could start driving at 10 o'clock at night, and I guess I'm going to do that. I've got 625 miles. It says I can make it in 10 hours and 54 minutes. And, I'll have about 11 hours to get there to get an inspection and then go deliver it. And then come back and get the next one so I can shut down on it so I can just get started, Saturday morning? But I usually do beat the GPS times because I will fuel up in the morning. Well, not in the morning, tomorrow night or later on tonight at 10 o'clock. And that will be my pre-trip. We will, what I have to do to use no drive time to do that, I don't know if spin around. I'll change my duty status and I'll put it on duty and yard move and then drop one of these boxes here. And then that will count as on duty time and not drive time because, well, that's today's clock. And that was today. So there was what, 15 minutes between my drive time and total on duty time. And tomorrow's probably going to look like that too. That's the way it is. If you're going to make it to Laredo from Greer in 2 shifts, if you're in a truck that will not exceed 65 miles an hour, about the best you can hope for, if you can do it in like 2 full shifts, you've had a perfect trip down. If there's any kind of picking up, dropping off, or a big traffic jam, I can't make it. It's got to go close to perfect. But I'm over the halfway mark by about 25 miles. So if I do what I did today, I'll be golden. I can even do a little less and still be okay. Starting out strong. But I need to start something to eat. Those meatballs are hard not to have them in any meal that I make in the air fryer because I just throw a few balls in there. They heat up faster than the steaks and the other stuff, so they're kind of like a little appetizer. But that's what I got going on, guys. Oh, I got some new glasses. Do they look better than my previous ones as far as, I mean, I know you like that's like reflecting the LED lights there, but they're not nearly as glary as the last ones. And I feel like I'd have to take them off to talk to you because I didn't like the glare. But then when I want to read your comments, I can't see. It was I ain't gonna say it was causing me anxiety, but it made my ass do less videos. How about that? What's up, Lons from San Diego? I spent a little time in San Diego, and in my video series about the 40 plus jobs that prepared me to be a filmmaker, I'm going to be talking about my time in San Diego. I was on Coronado. I'm sure the weather is nice out there, but the ocean's still cold. Isn't that how that works in San Diego? Or at least LA? First time I got in the ocean, I think it was in January, so I guess it's not surprising that the water was cold then. But Southern California, it don't get cold, but the water does. We got a few comments here. Okay, no, that wasn't me, John. South Florida Turnpike headed towards Orlando, and John spent $700 on 4 tires for my pickup. Well, man, I spent 800 on it, like in December, and then, well, I got a hole in one of them, and I had to replace it. So I bought 5 tires in the last few months. Not trying to outdo you or anything, but just relating with you, my brother. And hello to you too, Richie from Chattanooga. I might end up in Chattanooga before I go back home. I go through there sometimes. We've got a yard in Chattanooga. Well, all right. None of us are saying too much, so I guess we'll just let this be a short video that I'm shutting down early, and I got crazy refrigerator, a finicky refrigerator, but I'm thinking I probably shouldn't grind my beans and heat my water at the same time and then blend my coffee, do them one at a time, run one appliance at a time. I probably shouldn't microwave and air fry at the same time. Because when you do stuff like that, problems arise. But I have been able to idle lately instead of just running the APU or whatever. But look at how hot it is. It's 95 degrees. Could you imagine being with a company like, no, you're not going to idle and APUs are too expensive and they just want you to sit in a truck and bake? That's probably, I mean, you can't do that to dogs and babies. Surely that can't be for truck drivers. But this one will cut off after 5 minutes if it's, not like really, really hot outside. I think that's kind of standard. Well, drop a comment if you got anything to say if you're watching this on the replay. I do have my big camera here, so I keep thinking about starting a video, but everything that I'm wanting to do, I use the excuse in my, I don't know. I want them to look cool, I guess. And I don't know if I want a teammate or hire a production assistant to go out on the road with me. That would be cool. I've got one in mind. She just got a boyfriend, and I don't know, like he's not cool with that idea. Could you imagine why? I don't know. But everybody, rock on with your week. If I don't talk to you before the weekend, have a great weekend for you people that do have one. You know, it's a holiday weekend that I let sneak up on me. I did not plan accordingly, so that means I'll be delivering. I don't know what it means. I won't be taking the day off and be at the beach catching catfish. I mean, at the lake catching catfish or drinking beer or any kind of fun activities. I will be out here on the road Memorial Day. And I know a bunch of y'all will too, but I'm pretty sure we'll get a little holiday pay for that day in addition to working for it. So that'll be a little bonus on the paycheck, right? All right. Well, I'll see you guys next time. But until then, be safe out there and keep on trucking. Bye bye.